Return after these messages.
To get that great berry taste in Crunch Berry cereal, Captain Crunch sails high seas to a land filled with fruits of danger. There grow the sweetest, juiciest berries, but they're still not crunch berries. No, not till Crunch Power locks their sweet berry taste in, so it's tough to starg out. And only then does Captain Crunch return
with my tasty crunch berries for kids everywhere.
My God, what a cereal!
Crunch berries are a very good part of a balanced breakfast.
And now these messages.
It's that time of year again, and Cadbury has hatched up milk chocolate mini eggs for Easter, made with Cadbury's dairy milk chocolate. Inside the crisp sugar shell is a chunk of thick and creamy Cadbury's dairy milk chocolate. That's why mini eggs give you a chocolate experience that is so special. Although Easter isn't here yet, Cadbury's mini eggs are. So discover for yourself which comes first, the bunnies or the eggs.
Live from Hollywood, it's the Bet You Buy the Chip show, starring me. And now, I'll be the first contestant to bite a Chips Ahoy cookie without biting a chip. I bit a chip, but I'm cool. Hey, it's like a chocolate chip party going on here.
Sam, your homework.
Chips Ahoy, original in the blue bag, chewy in the red. Bet you bite a chip.
Getting into drugs and being high is a stupid thing to do. Being original and take a stand. You're free to say no. Don't let a friend push you in. Taking drugs, you got a right to say no.
Constructs to build thundering tracks. You build Sky Blazer.
Sold separately.
Action. Constructs. Rescue. Constructs.
Mission accomplished!
Constructs.
Constructs, Thundering Tracks, and Sky Blazer, each sold separately from Fisher Price.
Constructs.
Here's a very unusual kind of egg that's only around till Easter. The original cream egg from Cadbury, made from Cadbury's rich, smooth dairy milk chocolate. Inside this thick shell, a creamy yellow yolk surrounded by delicious white filling. Cadbury's cream eggs, why, they're the best thing to come along since the Easter Bunny. And when he's gone, they're gone.
We will return after these messages.
There's a whole new way it moves today. Places to go, people to see. You got to keep up with your feet. You can keep on moving with Twix. Chocolate caramel satisfaction, like crispy cookie, get you back in the action.
It's having 2 sticks of Twix. Can't fix. Yeah, Twix keeps your motor humming like a yum. Keep on moving with Twix. Caramel or peanut butter Twix.
I gotta feel the taste, gotta make it right, gotta taste it now, gotta get pop, yeah, gotta get pops.
The pop sensation of Kellogg's Corn Pop cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast.
I gotta get pop, yeah, gotta get pops.
What's this?
A Garfield padlock. Whoa!
Wow!
To lock up your pad. There's one Garfield Roadie padlock free inside Corn Pops.
Captain O.G. Reedmore here. If they send a mouse to outer space when Hawaii's getting snow, if a Martian lands on Thompson Street, you'll be the first to know. If you read the daily papers and your favorite magazines, you'll be out in front and in the know on all the latest scenes. You can tell your friends, you heard it first. And you'll hold the latest news. So read the paper and some magazines, 'cause reading is what's news.
We will return after these messages.
I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth, or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People, in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality. Kareniak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl that like going
that is
and
the best shit fucking
shopping for dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with
Shout out to Cherry for just being just easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot.
Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man.
Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. people. Hello. Good afternoon. I hope everybody's having a great start to their week. I hope that your week is not, already starting off stressful and that sort of thing. Oh, look at that. Clever. You found a toy that you're actually supposed to chew on. Thank you, buddy. Good boy. I love it. Found the chew rope. I love it. So, oops, let me get rid of this banner here. Sorry about that. Yeah, I hope it's an easy day for everybody, man. Now, let me explain a little bit about the title, which I really don't have that much of an explanation for other than, hold on a second. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Other than I keep seeing comments and messages and things of that nature that I keep getting these things with a very common, walking back from support from TurtleBoy. We see you walking back support from TurtleBoy. I'm seeing this a lot. Little comments. You guys, some of you have seen them on Twitter. Yes, I shaved. Here's the thing. I'm not one of those guys that can like grow like I can like a big beard. And I've tried that before. I tried it about, I don't know, I want to say like 8 years ago. And I got only so far before I could not escape the feeling, no matter how much I scrubbed my beard with shampoo, no matter how much I did this all the time, it still just felt dirty. Like when I see dudes with big beards, unless it's like really like immaculately kept, and I just see like all I see is just a big fucking bush of fucking dick pubes on somebody's face. I'm being honest. Sorry. I mean, I there's good people, people that I know who rock beards like this, and it doesn't make me think less of their character. I'm not trying to say that. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that like every time I see it, when I tried to do it myself, it was just I couldn't get past that. And so even when I have a short beard sometimes, which I prefer the way that I look with a short beard, sometimes even I'm like, I got to get rid of this shit. And that's what's going on here. I'm just like, I just was like, oh, I'm getting rid of this right now. Starting all over, just for the sake of having the feeling of a clean shaven face. Now I'm not going to shave for who knows when, but so that's my whole thing. It's more of and I wouldn't even say hygiene thing. It's a comfort thing. You know what I mean? It's not to say that anybody with a big beard is not hygienic. That's not what I'm trying to imply at all. I'm saying it bothered me, in that sense. So it's one of those things where I just don't give a shit how it looks right now. It just feels really nice. So, but moving forward, going back to what we were talking about before, actually. So seeing these comments, and I'm just like, what am I going to do with that? Am I going to think about that right now? Or am I going to just like remember to just go live about it and just set a live about it and then like think out loud about it then? So that's basically what I'm doing, because why not? because I have nothing to hide about the whole situation and my position here. There's nothing as far as secrecy or anything like that in my position here. Well, no, Benjamin John, I it's not a question of what I care what people think. It's just, okay, well, if you want me to answer this question, well, then I'll just do it in a way that would most likely annoy you. Meaning the people who are concerned with these such things. So and I figured, why not, and it'll give me a chance to hang out with you guys. So there was a comment earlier when I had first set this, and I wanted to highlight it. And a big shout out to Brother Preach. Brother Preach is in here. I dropped the link to his newest track. And I really like his stuff, and he does everything himself. That's something that I always really, really, really respect. Is the creators and like especially musicians who are just like, I have a platform here and I don't need fucking anybody. Like it's right here. So I could I have the means. I can write music, I can produce it, I can record it, I can produce it, I can put it out on YouTube, and there it is. So I always have so much respect for people who do that. So Benjamin John says, I guess based on the title, this is before I actually came up here, either Will does or does not support TurtleBoy is not relevant. What is relevant is the truth. What I've come to learn is this is what Will stands by. He's made this abundantly clear already. That is easily, without a doubt, the simplest way. Like, I don't even know why I'm even live at this point now. I could not put that any plainer. That's the best way to answer that question. It's fascinating to me. Now, the answer is, of course, I support TurtleBoy. And I think the reason why people were asking this question was, because I was like, well, where I defended myself and even Tom to some degree on the Grant and the colitis thing. And I still stand by what I said on that. And I still feel the exact way that I did when I said those things. But this is a testament right here as to how people who can't think logically think. Because it's foreign to these people. The concept, the very simple concept, is foreign to people like this, that I can have an opinion about something, or even support someone, or even possibly be friends with someone, which is the case in other areas, and disagree with them. This concept is insane to them. Like, wait a minute. So if you disagree with this person, that must mean that you're not supportive of them anymore. It means you're walking back support. That's step one in walking back support. No, there's a few things that TurtleBoy's done that I don't agree with. I'm sure there's a few things that I've done that if TurtleBoy was aware of, he wouldn't agree with either. There's things that many of you here who support me are aware of, things that I've done that you don't support, but yet you understand me and you get what I'm doing here and you enjoy it and you support it. I mean, that's what logical and decent, rational people do. True. Terry and I never agree on anything. We never agree on anything, especially the fact that she's always wrong. We never agree. But she's my number one supporter. I'm her number one supporter. I mean, that's just how this is. That's just how this works out. I mean, it's very, very funny to me. But the thing is that's also coming from a place, a question like that. You know, you're walking back or you're no longer supporting TurtleBoy. We see it. You're turned on TurtleBoy. I hear that one too. The glare turned on TurtleBoy. I mean, like, first of all, I want to be very clear about something. That's coming from a place, a mindset, and a mentality that I have pledged some sort of allegiance to TurtleBoy. I have not done any such thing. I don't pledge allegiance to anyone. I mean, do I see him in a position of leadership? Sure, of course, not over myself, but I could see that there are people who follow him. I could see that there are people who absolutely respect everything that he does, and they follow him and they say, I am a turtle rider all the way. And I get it. And I see why, if I'm being honest. It's just not in my nature to jump on that. And I'm not personally affected in the way that these turtle riders are. These turtle riders, they come from a place where they've been following, even before this case, even before the John O'Keefe, Karen Reed case, they've been following his blog. So many of these people, these turtle riders they fall under that category. But many, if not most, of these so-called turtle riders are people who live locally in Massachusetts. I'm going to skip the song. You're just being fair, my man. Thank you, Heavy Holler. I appreciate that. Many, if not most, of these quote unquote turtle riders are locals in Massachusetts. And it is indisputable that TurtleBoy is responsible for much of the evidence that has shown that there is something very, very nefarious going on in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, specifically in the Norfolk County DA's office, specifically. But this opened up an entire can of worms. TurtleBoy coming into that town and investigating and writing the findings of his investigations, writing about them, has opened up a whole can of worms in that town, because it's gone to the special the Canton Select Board. So it's gone even beyond the Norfolk County DA's office. And so these people who are locals, who call themselves turtle riders, they credit TurtleBoy for this, for those reasons that I just explained. He has put himself down a rabbit hole, put his freedom and his reputation on the line to get to these answers. Now, one has to ask something here. Let's say anybody here in the chat, just a very basic put yourself in someone else's shoes exercise, right? Let's say that you were made, a person of your integrity. I'm talking to any individual given in the chat. Okay? Let's say any of you were given information that indicates strongly that there is a woman who lives locally near you who is being falsely charged for the murder of a Boston police officer. Just ask yourself, what would you do? If you knew this, what would you do? Would you do everything that you can to make people aware of this? Or would you just be like, that's not my fucking problem? And I like things the way they are. This is somebody else's problem, not for me to deal with. What would you do? Somebody comes to you and says, hey, this is what I'm hearing is happening. If you go and you look at this document and then look at this document and look at this document, you tell me what you think. Right? Like, you've got to chill out at some point, homie. If you had the means to expose it, would you? See, I'm seeing this. I would expose it. Someone else's job. Tell the world. I would look into it and stand by the fact that she's innocent. I stood up and I have been harassed since I put up the Free Karen Reed poster in my yard. I also live in Canton, and on the same road as Carrie Roberts, her son broke my windows. I mean, so that's really ugly right there. I mean, look at this shit. I mean, I think that it's, again, absolutely willfully ignorant to minimize the following that TurtleBoy has. Now, whether or not TurtleBoy will handle having this following in a responsible manner, that's between him and y'all, dude. That's between him and y'all. I'm, you know what I mean? Me, I'm the kind of person, all I said was something in my own defense and in the defense of somebody who I genuinely have some appreciation for. And I wasn't condemning what was said about it. I was merely stating my case and Tom, and as what my observations were Tom's perspective as best as I could. But that doesn't mean that I don't think that TurtleBoy's heart was in the right place by bringing this up. I mean, it's just very strange to me, the place that people's minds are as opposed to where mine is. And when people say things like that, and I mean, that's the thing is, I'm not a local. I'm simply a guy with a YouTube channel who is inspired by the locals there. And TurtleBoy to me is one of those locals. And I have the utmost respect for someone who went to jail for merely making people aware of what was happening in their town. And he brought proof with him. He didn't just go and try to stir shit up. He didn't just go and become charismatic and start yelling and screaming and getting people to go, oh, well, this guy's yelling and screaming. Let's see what he's all about. Yay. That's not what happened. And it would be irresponsible of me to be sitting here covering this shit without pointing that out. And it's sad that I have to make that differentiation. It's sad that I have to sit here and try to explain to these idiots on Twitter who just say hateful shit under these really pathetic handles, like unoriginal, childish handles. And so I'm not going to have any respect. Now, I respect everyone's right to their anonymity. That's fine. But you can't expect me to respect what you have to say if you're not willing to put your face behind it. Because how much conviction do you really have behind what you're saying if you're not willing to put your face and your name behind it? I'm willing to put my face and name behind everything that I say. To me, that's vital. It's vital. So know that if you're going to have a verbal or sorry, not verbal, well, even verbal, but a confrontation with me on Twitter or on social media platforms, just know that you're going into it with me of this mindset. I mean, immediately I'm going in with this mindset. If you're coming at me under a fucking sock account, I'm already thinking you don't have any conviction behind what you're saying anyway. You're thinking on a level that I can't relate to, or that I won't relate to anyway, which is just focusing on the argument between you and I when there is no you and I. There's absolutely no you and I. Because you don't have a name or a face. I mean, so I just, you know, now again, I do respect people's anonymity. I do respect the fact that people want to keep their anonymity for certain reasons, such as like, well, you know, they might be cops, you know, they might be teachers, and to express some opinions that may be extremely unpopular, they would have to create a sock account. I get that. But when your sock account is something like Biff Thunder Muffin, what am I supposed to think of you? You know what I mean? Like, you look at Benjamin John right here, right? Benjamin John. I love it. It's a tribute to one of our forefathers. And all the guy does is speak on his opinions coming from a place of a love for liberty. I eat that shit up. I got to tell you, I eat that shit up. Because who the fuck knows? That makes me look at Benjamin John and think, man, this guy probably has like a really good job where they're making a difference. And having the, you know, just knowing that saying whatever's on their mind and their opinions on sensitive subjects could get them ostracized or fired from their job or something. Something very, very consequential to happen in their real life for simply speaking their mind. And they do so respectfully. Well, it makes me have a certain respect that they are like, I have to speak up on this. I'm too educated for this to be, for me to be quiet about this. Too educated, like, and I love seeing that. But all I see are McTwat muffin names, and I saw another guy in somebody's check named Muffman or something like that, and I was just like, how do you expect me to take you seriously? Let's say you have the opportunity to sit down and talk to me. At the end of the day, these are just another, bitch Tims. You know what I mean? Came up here just to argue. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, I am absolutely in support of TurtleBoy. Why would I not be? The guy is sitting in jail right now, protecting it, fighting for my freedom of speech, fighting for my right to sit up here and talk. Of course, I'm going to respect the guy. Of course, I am. You'd be a fool not to. If if you're up here talking, I always find anybody up here who's talking shit and going, TurtleBoy belongs in jail. Yes. I always see those people doing this on a platform that TurtleBoy is currently sitting in jail for their right to be able to do that. It's fascinating to me. People who clearly take their freedoms for granted. That's an example of taking your freedom for granted. I mean, did TurtleBoy pick up a weapon and stand a post for his country as an enlisted military member? I don't know if he's ever served, but as far as I know, no, he has not. But at the same time, does he deserve any less respect? He's sitting in jail because he found evidence about he found evidence to indicate that an investigation into the murder of a Boston police officer is at the very least faulty. At the very least, not what the folks of the Norfolk County or town of Canton, their taxes are being paid for. It's just not. They have a right to be upset. They have a right to ask questions. I mean, if TurtleBoy sat there, right? If anyone sat there, this is something that I don't agree with. That people doing. This is something that I normally don't agree with. I'm like, I've seen people do this where they're like, okay, we'll call this person's phone number and let them know what you think. When it's like, wait a minute, that's an innocent person. You know what I mean? That's an absolutely innocent person. But then when you have a situation where it's not exactly an innocent person, because here, this is a civil servant who killed a very respected, who is investigating the murder, excuse me, a civil servant who's investigating the murder of a very respected civil servant. And the people of Canton are going to be concerned if the investigation into a Boston police officer is not being conducted in the best, most thorough possible way. Like, let's just take corruption away from the whole thing for a second. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence discovered by TurtleBoy alone, not just anybody else, but TurtleBoy, right? An overwhelming amount of evidence that there is things going on in this case that are not standard. The methods in the investigation of this case are not standard to any other investigation. And it's going to lead you to questions that are going to lead you to answers that are inside 34 Fairview. It's inevitable. It's just how that is. It's how the facts play out. The facts play out to where you start asking questions about John O'Keefe, and then you can't help but end up asking questions on 34 Fairview, and you are going to get stuck on those questions because this is where your investigation has led you. You're stuck. 34 Fairview. There's no going back. There's that toothpaste is out of the tube. The genie is out of the bottle, as Yannetti said. Or was it Jackson? I don't know. One of them said it. But I'm pretty sure it was Yannetti. But the fact is, TurtleBoy is clearly in jail. Like, they just because they say TurtleBoy's in jail for intimidation, the whole thing is bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. I just don't see how you can intimidate cops. And I don't see how you can intimidate cops who end up at your house to help seize your tech under those charges. And then there's the whole thing with the woman. And I mean, if that wasn't a setup, if that wasn't a setup, I don't know what is. So you have a guy who's sitting in jail, and we watched in real time. In real time. So we watched this thing unfold, and we went through every one of the charges. We went through all of the hearings, the testimony, all of it. We went through every motion. And what Mello did to Bradle, in my opinion, was the most revealing thing of all. I mean, TurtleBoy being in jail, how do you... We suspected that TurtleBoy was in jail to shut him up and to find out what he knew. We found out what we later on came to the place where we realized it's also to try to find out what he knew about the federal investigation into the Norfolk County DA's office. Stay here, buddy. Lay down. I know. I love you too, buddy. Sorry, he just makes so much noise on some of the stuff he chews on. So we all knew it. And to find out, a lot of it was to find out, a big part of it, if not the sole part of it, was to find out that the federal they want to know what's going on with the federal investigation. No, it's distracting me is the issue. It's distracting me. Okay, I just had to take the thing away, that's all. So the once we realized that was the case, that they were just trying to find out what's going on with the federal investigation, then Mello like doubles down, because he went as far as to want to know what is being said between Bradle and TurtleBoy. He actually filed a motion to take away TurtleBoy's right to attorney-client privilege. I mean, which he even admitted in open court. Ken Mello even admitted in open court that this was unprecedented. Unprecedented. If that doesn't tell you the desperation that the Norfolk County DA's office has to find out what's going on with this federal investigation, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it is plain as day. You got to use your eyes, people. It is plain as day. Just think about that. Ken Mello filed a motion to a judge, asking a judge to take away TurtleBoy's right to attorney-client privilege. Nobody's ever done that. That tells me that stinks of desperation. It reeks of it. So, when you factor in all of these things and ask me something like, have you walked back your support for TurtleBoy? That just shows how ignorant you are. Yeah, that's it's absolutely insane. See, I don't have to like, and it's the fact is, it's none of your fucking business. I'm talking to every single person watching and listening right now. It's none of your fucking business what I think of TurtleBoy personally. It's none of TurtleBoy's business what I think of him personally. What anybody thinks of me and how anybody feels about me is none of my fucking business. So, and I live my life on this. So, I am here with a platform, and I have a community has adopted me, would be the best way to put it, because I would like to think, because of my genuine feelings towards what I'm witnessing. And so I'm expressing my thoughts on them, and people enjoy it. That's all I'm here to do. That's all I'm here to do. So, and if something stinks, like this investigation, then I'm going to speak up on it. I mean, that's just, it's what it simply boils down to. And so anybody who is making some sort of sacrifice for this absolutely has my utmost respect. And TurtleBoy is making the most sacrifice out of anybody right now. Who else involved in this case is sitting in jail? Who else involved in the John O'Keefe Karen Reed case is sitting in jail right now? Karen Reed's not even sitting in jail right now. And I'm not supposed to have respect for what this guy sacrificed. He's got kids out here. And because of what he's doing, being so important, he's sacrificing time with his children because he's made a decision, I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him on this. I don't want to speak for him on this, but I would imagine that he's the type of person that looks at this in the sense of, well, yes, I'm sacrificing time with my children, and this is terrible. But I'm also doing something very important that would inspire them and hopefully make up for the time that I'm missing from them. Teach them something extremely important about what it means to be a human being and an American. And nobody else is doing this right here. You know what I mean? Nobody else is sitting in jail. TurtleBoy's the only one sitting in jail. So, and it's really ironic too, because I keep saying, it's just like I was saying before, Grant sitting there saying the things that he was saying about TurtleBoy. I'm like, Grant should be kissing his ass. Because the justification is, okay, people think TurtleBoy should be in jail because he harassed innocent people, right? The differentiation is Grant got in Karen Reed's face, but that's okay because Karen Reed is actually accused of a crime. But the problem is that the evidence doesn't dictate that she's the person responsible. The evidence can imply it, but the evidence doesn't dictate that she's the person responsible. There's some evidence that can imply it for sure. Otherwise, they wouldn't be even bringing it to trial. But there's overwhelming evidence that creates overwhelming amounts of doubt. And that's what I can't ignore. That's exactly what I can't ignore. Like, if you people think that TurtleBoy is sitting in jail right now because he broke the law, you're out of your minds. You're out of your minds. Especially if the law being cited that he's being charged with is unconstitutional, which it clearly is. We went over it many times. If that law is unconstitutional, TurtleBoy did not break the law. TurtleBoy, make no mistake, is sitting in jail because he is a threat to people who he should not be a threat to. All he is someone with a platform and a loud voice. And so he is sitting in jail simply because he is a threat to those who have the ability and the means to jail him. And it's plain as day. It's plain as day. Because I'm telling you right now, man, like, if you think that law is constitutional, well, then I'm sorry. You're just not an American. Not in my eyes. Not in my eyes. Because it is a direct violation of the First Amendment. What is it? Chapter 28, 13A, 13B. That is a direct violation of the First Amendment. And so if TurtleBoy is sitting in jail based on this, right? Why isn't Grant sitting in jail for getting in Karen Reed's face? I mean, isn't she intimidating a witness? She's a witness if she takes the stand. She has the right to take the stand if she wants to. Yeah, I mean, so I don't see there's these whole rules for me and not for thee, or rules for thee and not for me. it's very funny to me because I just don't see why isn't Grant being charged with a crime? And I'm not pushing that he does. I don't want him to get arrested. I want to be very clear about that. I don't want him to get arrested. I'm just making a point that if these people are cracking down on the circus that this has become, then why are they only focused on the side of turtle riders? Right? Why if the prosecution is so concerned with the circus that this case has become, and they are acting in the best interest of the rights of the defendant, correct? Clever, get down from there, buddy. Right? They're acting in the interest of the best interest of the defense, right? Of their rights. Karen Reed's rights. Then why didn't Grant get arrested under the same charges, under Chapter 28, 13A, and 13B? Oh, Fairy Raven, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Free the Turtle, Bird Watcher, 5554, Diana, and My Father's Keeper, and Heidi Doob. Right on. Congrats, guys. Thank you so much, Fairy Raven. Appreciate it. Because, and like I said, I don't want Grant to go to jail. I'm against that law that's being applied to keep TurtleBoy in jail. I'm against that law. And they knew that wasn't going to keep him in there. They knew they weren't going to actually get him in jail under that alone. So they set up, so Tully and Mello sets up this thing. It's clear. The timeline just makes perfect sense. And they clearly railroad TurtleBoy, and we're not supposed to believe that Karen Reed was railroaded too. That's another part of the sacrifice that TurtleBoy's making. He's sitting in jail right now, proving the point that if they're capable of railroading him and just jacking his First Amendment rights, if they're capable of railroading him the way that they did, why would we not think that they're capable of railroading Karen Reed as well? Think about that. That's the sacrifice that TurtleBoy's making. So, in conclusion, just because I disagree with TurtleBoy on 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, who knows? It does not mean that I do not support him. So, I hope that was clear. I hope that I painted this picture as brightly and accurately as I could. But I do want to thank you guys for your little afternoon pop in. You guys are fantastic. This was actually a very enjoyable live stream to do with you guys. What's up, Tom? What's up, Dave? Making law simple. TurtleBoy should not be in jail. I absolutely 100% agree. But yes, you guys are fantastic, man. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is a short one, just a short afternoon. Maybe I'll go on a little later tonight. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the day brings. But maybe I'll go on a little later tonight. But good news is also, I forgot to mention, TurtleBoy will be live again, I think on the 24th. He's expected to get out on the 23rd. So yeah, I am very, very, very much excited about that. So anyways, guys, I love you. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.